Hello. It is currently 102 degrees outside, which is far too warm for any human to live in, and I do not have AC. So, I need to sew myself some summer clothes to deal with this heat. So, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and make myself a summer dress that I can just throw on and not have too many pieces of clothing on my body. So, we're going to make ourselves a summer dress, and I'm going to go ahead and pick out some of my fabric. I have a lot to choose from, so we'll see what we end up with. I believe that there's about 3 yards there plus extra. We'll see how it goes. This might end up being more of a summer top than a dress, but it really depends on how much fabric that I have. And so we'll go ahead, we'll get started. Okay, so I have my fabric all laid out here on the floor. It is a circular tablecloth, so things are going to be a little interesting as I begin to cut things out. Luckily, I am able to tell where the grain is, so I'm able to cut things where they need to be. I'm going to go ahead and use this McCall's pattern. This is McCall's 8104, and I've used this pattern before and it wasn't my absolute favorite, so I'm actually going to be going in and making quite a few modifications to this pattern. I'm going to make it so there's no buttons coming up the front. I'm going to make it loose enough that I can just pull it over my head. So because of that, I'm going to be cutting part of the skirt on the fold to make sure that there's no seam in the middle. I'm also going to be getting rid of kind of the fluffy sleeve that it has. It has a built-in sleeve, so where the bodice is just 3 pieces. I'm not a huge fan of that sleeve, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to not cut out the sleeve, and then I'm going to try to reattach the sleeve differently. We will see how that goes. I might go with no sleeve, I might go with the ruffle sleeve. Worst case, I think it'll end up fine, but I'm not a huge fan of the sleeve as it is, so I'm going to experiment a little bit and see what I can do with it. So right now I'm going to go ahead and start pinning things into place, maybe cutting them out, and we'll see if tonight I have enough time to actually start sewing. So we'll go ahead with that. Hello. It is the next day. It is no longer 102 degrees, luckily. That was too much for me at some points. It is now, I would say, about 98 degrees today, so not much of an adjustment, but honestly, those 4 degrees really do a lot. I have cut out my pattern pieces and made some adjustments. I'm definitely going to have to adjust things as I'm sewing them, as I kind of drape them on my body, seeing how they're going. But I don't have a serger, so my next step is going through and I do a zigzag stitch on the edges of all of the pieces that I know are going to stay the same. I'm going to go ahead and zigzag those pieces and probably put the skirt together. It's really basic. It's 2 pieces for the front and the back, and then a ruffle along the bottom for the skirt. So cut the ruffle along the edge of the tablecloth, so technically it does have a hem already. I'm debating if I'm gonna hem it. It's just kind of sewn over, which isn't great, so I'll probably wait and do that last and decide if it needs a hem or not, depending on how short I want it to be. So those are my next steps. I'm gonna go ahead and get sewing. Okay, so I have the skirt completely done. I'm still not sure if I'm going to be hemming the bottom or not, but it is done. What it looks like, it looks very puffy on me because I'm wearing a dress with a lot of gathers already. So it will fall a little nicer in the end. It does still have this hem on it, which is the one that was original to the tablecloth. Still unsure if I'm going to keep that or not. The tablecloth was handmade, and I could tell because I had a strip of fabric along the edge, and then to widen it, they took 2 bits of fabric, added them to each side, and then cut the circle. So there were some seams that were in this tablecloth, and the only area in the whole dress that I think you can really see the seams that I had to cut through were with this ruffle, and I made sure to kind of put them in the back. I really feel like you can't tell, and I feel like if I didn't point out that they had some seams, that you wouldn't be able to tell. Like here's a seam along the edge, like I'm talking about, and you can't really see it, and that's in the back. So the back is of no concern of mine. It is more of a high waist, and then the front will gather, so hopefully it will look really cute. So next is more onto the experimentation side of things, as I'm going to have to go ahead and start with the top. And like I said before, I modified the top a lot, so we will see how it works out. So it's not going quite as I imagined. I only did the side seams so I could kind of figure out sizing. And it's becoming quite difficult to kind of see the vision. So it has a high skirt, so it'll come up like this, and this all gathers in here. But then I'm kind of left with this. And I don't know about you, but that's not the look I'm going for. I thought about if I gathered this here and then gathered this here. But then it's kind of lower than I would normally do for something that I like. Also, I don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with this a little bit. And then I have a plan B. Luckily, I have enough fabric to completely do the top for plan B. So if I really need to, I can just completely scrap this and go on plan B. The skirt is fine no matter what I do. The skirt, I think it looks fine. So at this point, we're just kind of figuring out the top, hoping it works out. I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring this shoulder in, and I'm going to do the gathers here and see how that looks. And if this looks right, then, oh, I should put the bias binding on first. I'm going to put the bias binding on, gather, see how it goes. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes since I last saw you. I am changing it up again, and I've decided I'm not gonna go with that plan. I'm not gonna go with plan A or plan B. I'm actually gonna go with plan C because it's way less work for me and I don't want to have to do too much work. So what I'm going to be doing is I have a dress that I got from Marshall's a few months ago, and it's actually shrunk, but the top still fits me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking a pattern of the top and using that. It has the same kind of like high in the middle, low drop waist kind of thing going on. So I think it'll work. It'll be really cute. Also, because this dress shrunk, I no longer have a dress similar to that. Because it fits in the bust, I think I'm going to make it into like a peplum top so I can still wear this dress, but still. It shrunk like up. So it went from being like knee length to being like mid hip length. Like it's quite short. But I definitely think that I could take a pattern off the back and the front. The front has darts, so it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to take the pattern off of that. But it's a challenge that I'm up for. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and take some pattern pieces off of this. I like to just use brown grocery bags as pattern paper because it holds up really well and it's easy to work with and they're free. Well, they're 5 cents at the grocery store actually, so not free. But they're good to use, so I'm going to take a pattern off of this and apply it to my pink fabric. I'm gonna go ahead and have to take it in a little bit in the bust, and it's giving nightgown. Not in my most favorite thing to have my outfits look like. So I put some pins in the front just so I can get a better look, and I think if it comes up a little bit, it's like cute mini dress versus like sad nightgown kind of thing. I'm realizing this tablecloth in a dress form is also kind of giving hospital gown. So that's my next step, is to shorten and to take it in and try to make it a little less hospital gown chic. Okay, this dress might have been the death of me. love how it turned out. I think it's so cute. I love that I have like this little empire waist moment up here with the ruffle. And I love that it's made out of a picnic tablecloth or just a regular tablecloth, because then when I wear it on picnics, it gives me a little bit of joy from that. Pros and cons. Pros, it's cute. I like it. It looks really nice. Cons, I need to take it out just a little bit here, which will be really easy. I actually took it in too much. But I don't have my sewing machine set up right now and I wanted to film. And so I just need to take it out just like a centimeter, just like the tiniest little bit, and then it'll fit me better. Also with that, I'm hoping that when it's taken out a little bit, some of this gapping, warping that's happening here in the chest will go away. I took this pattern off of a dress that I already had and it didn't do it then. So I'm really hoping that with a little bit of adjusting that this will lay flat. Overall though, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm definitely going to be wearing this like all the time. It's definitely something that I'll wear just like out and about with some sandals, especially as the summer comes to a close. It's going to be heating up a lot, and I'll definitely want to make sure that I have something that I can just throw on and just have one item of clothing on my body when it's 100 degrees again. At the time of filming this, it's dropped down to 80, so it's nowhere near as hot as it was when I first started making this dress. So this will come in handy with the next heat wave. Was not able to wear it during the first. So there's that. I hope you liked this video. I have more knitting videos coming your way, and yeah, I'm really enjoying making videos, so I'm gonna keep doing them. My goal is to do them every 2 weeks, so let me know if there's anything else you want to see. All of these projects are ones that I am already doing. I try not to make videos on things that I wouldn't do by myself, so yeah, if there's any technique that you're interested in or anything else, just leave a comment and I'll try to do it. So thanks, have a good one. I hope you liked it. I like this dress.